So it's been about 2 days since it happened, and I've been moping around for a couple days. Dad's been moping around for a couple days. Our injectors are still in, getting fixed and serviced. But I think it's time to face the beast. Lefty, we're here. Let's do this.
So I say what we do is we put a block in here and there, and then we also put a block under here just a little shorter than these, so that if we over press it, we don't go too far.
All right.
You know what I mean?
All right.
And because it'll probably want to spring back a little bit. And then after we get this straight here, we got to go about 1/2 inch. After we get that out straight, then I say we grind this. You take your welder and just fill this in a little bit to make this all match.
Yeah,
again.
I can build it up. We've done this a lot before for various things. We use our backhoe, and we'll actually set up on the floor here with some blocks, put the item we need to bend down on the floor, and I'll just lower the stabilizer down onto it and actually have quite a bit of control. We can put a block on the top to protect it and spread out the pressure, and it works. It really does. Before we get started with that, Dad and I are going to bring the hood over here. We want to test fit it so that if there's anything we got to do to fit it, to make sure it fits, we're going to have paint out and we can touch it up. The holes are lined up. You can see my helicoils in there.
Yeah. And you know why it won't go that way?
That's got a little crease in it.
Uh-huh. Yep.
But the exhaust has good clearance all the way around. And
this hole here will line up nice.
They'll all line up.
I don't know about these two.
And then it'll pull together
on top
and seat where it needs to be. There it is. You can really see there is a difference in our two paints here. This is more of an orangish, the original Caterpillar highway yellow compared to the Komatsu, but
this has also been rubbed and dulled up too.
It's been sitting and it's got dust on it. We're gonna just leave the hood on here for now until we get the injectors in there. I don't know what it is about stress. I've stressed over these track chains and still am, and Dad and I have came to the conclusion that we're just going to have to make a tool to press those pins out. So you could probably see that one in the future, maybe if things don't iron out, but I think that's on the horizon. I don't know what it is. This has just made me very tired, this whole situation. I'm exhausted. I spent the day yesterday just out on the tractor spraying weeds and mowing. I just couldn't look at this thing. The Thing. That's what I should have called you, The Thing.
We're probably going to have paint out. I'd like to tape this all off, and since we're going to have the gun out, we'll just spray both sides. I'll set her up like this so I can get to both sides.
My beautiful obsolete belt pulley. I love you so much. All right, I think we got it kind of rigged, and we've cut blocks and we have it supported. There's braces here, there's a brace there, there's one in the middle, and we're going to try and press. We've marked it with tape where the dent is and where it's pushed up. The back is still straight, it's just bent out there on the outside.
And this is nice and straight here. You know what? I don't think we're going to get it any better.
No, I don't either. This has got to go. We'll have to get this on the bench and kind of pound that back where it's straight.
Pound that out. You put a little bead on there.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm even going to have to recoat the whole thing.
Well, we should, or it'll flash. We should do...
Yeah.
We should put a coat over the whole fender.
Well, I want to get this edge in the top.
Yes.
I'm not worried about in here or the back.
Maybe we should leave well enough alone.
I think so.
We're going to get it up on the welding bench, and I'm going to pound that little scar back in, and then I'll put a few tack welds in there. We'll grind it off, square it up, and then prep it for paint. Flat disc time. Take my welder, and I'll start stacking beads up here and build that up till it's even, a little past even, so that I can trim it. Getting close. I got to fill right here to there and here to here. I'll run a few more beads right there, and I'll kind of grind this a little bit, smooth it up on each side. Gonna put a fish plate on here to connect the seat and stabilize this side of the seat. Over there it's connected to the fender. It's bolted down, but it'll keep it from tweaking the seat so that I can get on here, and maybe we can run this around when we get our injectors back and see if this will actually break loose. It'll hold our seat in place. Here we are again. I thought I was done with Bondo, but here we are again. I'm gonna mix up a little batch and just give it a little skim. I'll let that dry, and then I'll block sand it out later. This is the belt pulley, and we've got everything taped off that we don't want paint on. I'm going to put a little etchant primer on this bare metal. Now, we've scratched it up already with some sandpaper. We've already degreased it. I'm going to wipe it down with a tack cloth. Whew, that stuff is potent. I'll let that sit and tack up out here, and then I'll put some color on it, but again, I'm going to skip that. You guys will see it at the end. That stuff is also very dark. I'm guessing it's going to take a lot of coats to cover it. While I was out painting things, I got a little paint on this exhaust pipe too. That is our exhaust pipe we're going to use until we get the wet stacking taken care of on here, and we're still waiting for the injectors. They're still in the shop. I suspect we might hear something back about them maybe this next week. I do have one more thing to finish up on the seat. There are a lot of names for these online, and I don't really know what to call them. I call them wood nuts, but these basically go into the wood to put a regular bolt into, and these ones are 3/8. As you can see right here, 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 and here, this seat was made for a D2, but we've marked for a D4 where we want it to go. So I need to take all of this off, pull all these staples, drill those out, put those nuts in there from the other side, and then I'll go test fit it and we'll put it back together. Fortunately for me, for pulling these staples out of here, I got the perfect tool from the land of misfit tools. And this is just one we bent, but it works great for this. When I bought this seat like 2 years ago on, I think, eBay, it is made in the USA. It's not terrible quality, but it doesn't work for a D4, but I think it was listed as D2, D4. The part number was the same as a D4. It will work. The contour is the same. It just requires this modification to make it work. At least when I started this project, and even now to this day, it's easy to fall in the trap of, I better get it while I can still get it. Had we not restored this or finished this project, I would have been stuck with a lot of parts. I mean, there's always a possibility to resell it on eBay. Would you get your money out of it? Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. I fell in that trap. I bought a lot of stuff way too early in this project that I didn't know if I was going to need or we'd be able to use it, but I was so afraid I wouldn't be able to get it later. In hindsight, I should have shelled out the money, and I had it then. Not so much now, but I should have got a Hahn seat that was period correct and a correct reproduction for this machine. And what we have on the 22 is a Hahn seat. Did you guys see this? Yeah, you probably did. I just really like it. I think it looks cool. Pulled all the staples all the way around this thing, and I left these ones down here in the middle so I could keep the center and I could just fold it back. So I think I'm going to punch these ones out of here because they're a little too close here, and I'm afraid on the back side they're going to conflict with the hole. Okay, I've got it inside out. I know we marked it back here before, but I'm going to mark it from this other side, but I don't really want to clamp it up here for risk of messing up the paint, so I wonder if Mrs. LAOL will help me. Let me call her. Honey! Honey! There you are. Thanks for coming out to help us. This is my wife, Jolene, my bride of what, 26 years? Did I get that right? Yep. Okay, we've been together for a year longer than that. So this is who you all need to thank for everything with this channel. If you like this channel, she's the one making it happen. She's very camera shy. But she's crazy. So I'm crazy because you've seen my videos and the jokes I make. And she grew up by Boulder, and I grew up in Broomfield, which is kind of a closet community for Boulder. But there is something in the water, and it's plutonium. Plutonium's in the water from Rocky Flats, where they made nuclear weapons. It's closed now, but I think it was plutonium. That's why. She's so nervous. It's cute. Yes. Anyway, this crazy woman's been to the bottom of the earth with me, but I need her to mark this while I hold the seat cushion in place. Yeah, let's do that right there. Bye, Mrs. LAOL. Thank you. Quick test fit with some bolts. Everything lines up. Looks like we're going to have plenty of room. I guess I can put those nuts in there. The lever that actuates this belt pulley, it actually comes across from here over to here, and then up a linkage bar that mounts to one of these bolts in the seat, which is why I wanted to upgrade the ones in the seat to 3/8, because they were just 5/16, and I don't really think that's strong enough with the torque that belt pulley lever is going to put on it. These just have those little spikes on the other end that drive into the wood. I think if I line up the holes in the staples, I can get it very close to, if not exactly where it was. So I'll start here in the middle and we'll work our way around. I guess this is a moment of truth. Let's see if it fits. Okay, that works. The bolt I put in here, I don't have it tightened up all the way. It's a little bit longer, just a smidge, because there's that bracket for the belt pulley that goes on there. But I think that'll work. Well, it's on there. Doesn't look too bad. Got about the same amount of reveal all the way around here, depending on the cushion. It'll work. It's getting dark. I think Jolene's going to be wondering where I am. It's time to come in. I've been putting coats of paint on the belt pulley out here. I think I'll get it out in the morning and do one more, maybe two. But it's going to look nice. Aren't those clouds beautiful? I find myself looking at the clouds a lot. The bottom line is, we know we're not going to make this show, not with 4G. We will be at that show with at least the 22, maybe something else, but at least the 22. We'll be there. This is going to get to another show in the future, just not this year. And we're going to iron out these tracks. That might consist of a Let's Make a Tool episode. I think we're going to make a tool to press out these pins in the tracks. There's only 1 or 2 over here on the left side that are problematic. So I think they are up here. And they roll. They come very close to the fender. And I think that there's going to be a little bit of different physics involved when we actually move this machine under its own power. The chains and the tracks, they're going to move a little bit differently. So when we get our injectors back, we're going to fire this up. We're going to take it out. We're going to test run it. We're going to see what this track does. We're going to make it work. We're going to figure this out. So I do want to thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. I could tell you I've thought of a lot of other nicknames for Lefty since this whole track thing. A lot. Some of them I can't share on here. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Were you waiting for me? I knew it.